Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good, and welcome to Nairobi.
Well, thank you.
The Wayamo Foundation, in conjunction with the offices of DPPs and CIDs, has created the network of heads of public prosecutions and criminal investigations. What, in your view, is the relevance of a network of this nature?
This is probably one of the most relevant institutional cooperation that I can think of. And when I say that, and from what I do on a daily basis, we have many other institutions that have attempted to cooperate before. This is not to say they're not important, they're very, very important, but this one is one of the most important institutional cooperations because of the cross-cutting nature of the prosecutors and investigators. Because what they do touches on a wider public service and public interest that contributes to the regional integration agenda. So this is so important. And congratulations, Wayamo and the prosecutors and the investigators for setting up this cooperation. Information collection, collation, sensitization, and sharing is very important. I think long gone are the days when we thought the information that is not shareable or that cannot be passed on to a neighbor. Because whether we want or not, in this kind of technological superiority, I think information is no more as secret and as sacred as we thought it was. It will have a way of finding its way out, and therefore the more you can use it to share and have other people who have similar specialization and interest that contribute to national security, the better the information will serve us.
The region is facing significant security threats. What is missing in the regional approach to combat transnational organized crime and terrorism?
Well, the region is facing a lot of challenges, and the issues that make it difficult for the region not to mark a very quick success in international terrorism and countering violent extremism is a combination of many factors, and poverty is one of them. Poverty and hopelessness is one of them. Lack of equity is another one. Lack of inclusivity is another one. And of course, coupled with that is unemployment. And coupled to that is grievances that people don't feel have been addressed adequately. So inadvertently, without necessarily thinking about it, we may have shut the door on many people who then get very highly agitated, almost to a point of explosion. And then they contribute to some of the upheavals that we see. This is not to say that there are no just mere criminal elements. There are many just mere criminal elements. Petty crime, they are there. But a lot of planning processes, development processes have over time really disadvantaged many people in our region. And we are now paying the price for some of the lapses in our development agenda.
And what are some of the hurdles do you think the region should overcome, at least to have a functioning network or even functioning regional blocks such as IGAD?
Well, definitely, and I would not like to see this in terms of only IGAD. I would like to see it in terms of IGAD and East African Community. I would like to think about the greater East African region with the two region organizations as being one. And I do know that there's an African Union Commission reform agenda going on, and part of the rationalization of what they call the regional economic communities, the issues of probably someday having East African Community and IGAD as one entity has been on the table for a while under the African Union rationalization agenda. So for me, I'm a little bit ahead. I'm already thinking in terms of greater East Africa. So I think this cooperation is one that's going to affect positively and contribute to our regional integration agenda. And it's something that needs to be supported and valued.
But do you think there is willingness to form that larger whole body?
No, there is willingness. That I know. I've had discussions with high-level decision makers. Everybody thinks this is important, but of course somebody has to run with it. And I think we as a an organization as a secretariat. We have been talking about it. So it's only a question of time. When definitely this is going to find itself as an agenda on the table for high-level consideration. So I don't think there will be any objection to the need for us to cooperate better and for us to be able to do better from the multilateral aspect of inclusion.
And do you envisage any challenges, especially when it comes to sharing of sensitive information, looking at the various bodies that are there and the idea of bringing these bodies into a larger one?
Well, there is sensitivity now, and I hope we can grow out of that sensitivity. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm saying there's nothing that will help an individual entity if you put it under key and lock. It would have better been used if you pass it on to a neighboring intelligence agency, criminal investigation agency, or a prosecutorial agency, so that then you get help, and you get a counter help when you finally need it. So we're encouraging this coordination to work on its coordination, but above all work on issues of information sharing, collection, sensitization, and collation as important aspects of the cooperation.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
That's all I had for you.
Thank you so much.